Hi, I'm Leo Bruni, and I'm here with Ben Turf, and tonight it's senior night here at the LT pool. Ben, is there anything interesting about this LT diving and swimming team?
Well, yes. For LT diving, there's no seniors, but for Glenbard West, there isn't even a diving team, so we'll only be seeing LT divers tonight.
It's very interesting. Me, Gales kicked it off for the diving team for LT. Next is Karis Egan. That was a very nice dive by Karis. Ben, what do you think about that dive?
I think she executed well. She went into the pool, and she didn't jump too far, so I believe that's a very good dive.
Ben, what do you think about that dive?
Well, I think she overturned a little bit, which caused a splash, but she did get very high scores.
I can totally agree with you, Ben. Ben, that was a very good dive by the LT diver. Do you think she could have done anything different?
Well, I think she could have turned a little less because she did overturn a bit, which caused a splash.
That was a very nice dive by the LT diver. Very nice entry point. Ben, what do you think about that dive?
Well, it was a very nice dive. She went in very cleanly. She didn't jump too far, but she did overturn a little bit.
That was a very nice dive by the LT diver with a very high jump and a very nice entry point. That should get a very good score from the judges. Ben, what do you think about that dive?
Well, I think she went in cleanly, but she did overturn a bit, which caused a splash. But overall, it was a very good dive.
Julia Cozy to dive for LT. Very nice dive by Julia. That should be very high scores and help LT beat Glenbard West.
This is the second go-around for LT divers.
Me, Gail started off that second rotation for LT with a very nice dive. That was a very nice dive by Karis Egan for LT. Ben, what do you think about that dive right there?
Well, she did get around all the way, and she did have good height, which should give her a good score.
Allison Bradbury to dive for LT. That was a very nice dive by Allison. Ben, do you think she could have done anything differently on that dive?
Well, I think she did overturn, and she didn't release fully on the end, so I think that could have improved.
That was a okay dive by LT. Very big splash. Should affect the scores. That was a very nice dive by Andrea Udzilia. Ben, do you think Andrea could have done anything different?
Well, I think she did overturn, which caused a splash, but overall it was a very nice dive.
Elena Sims with the dive there. Very nice entry point and a very high jump point. Erin Pioba on the dive there. Ben, do you think she could have done anything different on that dive?
Well, I don't think she got all the way around, and she didn't release, which caused a splash.
That was a very nice dive by Tess Gregoriak. Should get very high scores for her. Lily Stoats with a very nice dive there. Should get very high scores and help LT beat Glenbard West. That was a very good dive from Julia Cozy of LT. Ben, do you think Julia could have done anything different on that dive?
Oh, I don't think she really released that much, which caused a bit of a splash. But overall, that was a very good dive.
Third rotation through here, started by Mia Gales. Ben, what do you think Mia did on that dive?
Well, the cause of the splash was that she overturned.
Karis Egan to dive next for LT. That was a very nice dive by Karis. Got very high and had a very good entry point. Ben, do you think Karis could have done anything different on that dive?
Actually, I don't think so. That was a perfect entry and very little splash.
Ben, what do you think happened on that dive right there?
Well, she did get very nice height and didn't jump too far, but she did overturn, which caused a large splash.
Lizzie Scotty on the dive there. It's a very good dive. Got very high and a very nice entry point. Andrea Udzulia on that dive. Ben, what do you think of that dive right there?
Well, she did get very good height, and I think it was a very nice dive.
Elena Prinz on the dive there. Hit a very nice dive. Should get a very high score. Erin Poba on the dive there. Very nice dive. Ben, do you think she could have done anything different on that dive?
Well, I think she did overturn a little bit, which might affect her score.
Tess Gregoric on the dive there. She jumped very high out, but had a very nice entry.
Yes, but I did think she jumped a little too far, which could affect her score.
That was a very nice dive with a very high jump and very nice entry point. Ben, do you think she could have done anything different?
Well, you could hear her hands hit the water, which is a not so good thing. So I think she could have improved on that.
Julia Cozy on the dive there. Might have over-rotated. Ben, besides over-rotating, did she do anything else wrong?
Well, I don't think she really opened up fully, so that could affect her score.
We're through. It's time to start the fourth rotation. Mia Gales just started off. That was a very nice dive from Mia with a very nice entry point. Ben, as you mentioned before, Glenbard West does not have a dive team. So as many of you have realized, we are only seeing LT divers here so far. That was a very nice dive from Karis Egan with a very nice entry point. Allison Bradbury on the dive there. Ben, what do you think? Did you think she could have done anything different on that dive?
Well, I think she did turn a little bit, which caused a little bit of a splash.
Liz Scotty on the dive there. Had a very nice dive with a very nice entry point. Andrea Udzulia on the dive there with a very nice entry point and very high jump. That should get very high scores for her.
Yes, but she did under-rotate, which caused a little bit of a splash, which could affect her score.
Elena Sims on the dive there. Ben, what do you think of that dive right there?
Well, I think her feet angle on that dive caused a bit of a splash, which could affect her score.
Erin Poba to dive. Very nice dive there. Ben, do you think she could have done anything different on that dive?
Well, I think she extended her hands out, which caused a little bit of noise, which could affect her that score.
Tess Grzorgic on that dive there. Very difficult dive. Ben, what do you think of that dive right there?
Well, it was a very high difficulty. On the other hand, she did make a large splash and didn't completely get around, which could affect her score.
Lily Stouts on the dive there. You could hear that her feet hit the water very hard. Ben, what do you think she could have done different on that dive?
Well, for one thing, she could have angled her feet better, as you mentioned, which would have improved her score a little bit.
Very nice dive from Julia Cozy. And that is the end of the fourth rotation through. The fifth rotation will begin with LT diver Mia Gales. Mia had a very nice backflip on that. Ben, what do you think of that dive right there?
Well, it was a very nice entry and very high jump, but I think she did jump a little too far out, which could affect her score.
That was a very nice reverse backflip from Karis Egan. Ben, what do you think of that dive right there?
Well, considering the difficulty, it was a very nice dive, and she went in very cleanly.
Allison Bradbury to dive. Very nice dive from Allison. Got very high and very nice point of entry. Should get very high scores. That was a very difficult dive. Ben, how do you think she pulled it off?
Well, I think she did underdo it, which caused a big splash.
Andrea Udzulia on the dive there. Very nice dive. Should get her very high scores. Very nice dive, very high jump, and very nice point of entry. Should get her very high scores.
As we see the highest score of the night, which is a 7. Very nice dive.
That was a very nice dive. Maybe under-rotated, causing that big splash. That was a very nice dive with very high jump and a very nice point of entry. Should get her very high scores. Lily Stotz with a very nice dive there. Should get very high scores.
Yes, but I think she did something with her hands, which caused a bit of a splash.
Julia Cozy with the very difficult dive. I feel like she pulled it off really good. What do you think, Ben?
I agree, but I think she did overspin a little bit, which caused a splash.
Mia Gales will kick off the last rotation of the night. That was a very nice dive from Mia. Pulled it off very good. Karis Egan to dive for LT. Very difficult dive. Let's see what the judge gives them the scores. Straight fours across the board for Karis. Allison Bradbury with the dive. Judges will give her a score of 4.5, 4, and 4. Lizzie Scotty to dive. Very difficult dive. Could have done it better, but I don't really think it will affect the scores. Scores are 4.5, 5, and 4.5. Andrea Azzuli with the dive. Very well execution. The judges will give her a score of a 5, a 6, and a 6.5. Elena Prins with the dive. Very good dive. The judges will give her a score of 5, 4.5, and 5.
Yes, that was a nice dive, but I think she did jump a little too far, which affected her score.
Erin Poba with the dive, very well executed. The judges will give her a score of 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Tess Gregoric with the dive. The judges will give her a score of 5.5, 5, and 5.5.
Yeah, I think she got those scores because she did underturn, which caused a big splash.
Lily Stotz to dive. Lily Stoltz with the amazing dive. The judges will give her a score of 4, 4.5, and 4.5.
Yes, that was a very difficult dive, but I think she did overturn a little bit, which caused a splash.
I totally agree with you, Ben. Julia Cozy with the last dive of the night. Very nice dive. Let's see what the judges gave her. The judges will give her a 5.5, 4.5, and a 6. That concludes the diving. Hi, I'm Leo Bruni, and I'm here with Ben Turf, and we are back at Senior Night at LT for the swimming portion of this competition. The first event will be the 200-yard medley relay junior varsity. Ben, as we saw, Glenbard West did not have a dive team, and it's also senior night. So what else is actually a little special about this meet?
Well, LT Swimming, instead of diving having no seniors, LT Swimming has several seniors, which we will see on display tonight.
All right, we're about to get started, and it looks like this first event is ready to get started.
As you can see with the swimmers entering the pool, we will start with backstroke.
And the swimming portion is officially underway. Early, lane 4 has the lead, followed by lane 2. It looks like going into this first exchange, lane 2 will have the lead.
Lane 2 and lane 4 are neck and neck, fighting back and forth for first place.
And now it's time for the breaststroke. Lane 4 and lane 2 are still edge and edge.
We can't forget about lane 1, they're gaining pretty fast.
Lane 4 is gonna check in barely ahead of lane 2. And now it's time for the butterfly portion.
Lane 4 is now just extending their lead.
And in the anchor leg, lane 4 will have Grace Lucum try to finish it out for them. And for lane 2, they will have Maggie Pirovaszik trying to catch lane 4 for the win.
Doesn't look like anybody's gonna catch lane 4, Leo.
Lane 4 will win. Lane 2 in second. And in third, it looks like lane 1 will take third.
All three of the top finishers happen to be LT swimming teams.
Next event, 200-meter relay, medley varsity. And there's only 5 teams in this competition, as lane 1 is not being used right now.
Lane Lane 2, 3, 4, and 6 are a very tight race for first place.
We have a very close race heading into this first exchange, with 4 teams fighting it out to get into the top 3. Looks like lane 4 has a lead coming into the second exchange, the butterfly.
The 3 teams that are competing for second place all finish in 0.7 of a second within each other.
Looks like lane 4 is extending their lead. Lane 4's anchor will be Callahan Dunn, the freshman. That's very impressive as a freshman to be swimming in the varsity portion of this meet.
And she's definitely showing why she deserves to be on this varsity club.
Because lane 4 is going to take first in this one. Second place will be lane 2, and third place will be lane 3.
And Leo, that team in lane 4 missed the LT record by 2 seconds.
That is very impressive. Our next event will be the women 200-meter freestyle junior varsity. Lane 4 will have an early lead, followed by lane 2.
Coming in this next turn, the two top swimmers, lane 2 and lane 4, finish 0.2 of a second within each other.
Lane 2 will have a lead partway through this.
Looks like lane 2 will take the victory, followed by lane 4 and then lane 6.
LT will sweep the top 3 in this one. Our next event is the girls 200-meter freestyle varsity.
Looks like coming into the first turn, lane 4 will have a slight lead.
Lane 4 is Paige Michelle from LT. Looks like lane 3 grabs second place.
It is lane 4 followed by lane 1 and lane 2. Lane 4 just extending their lead.
Lane 1 in second, followed by lane 2.
Looks like lane 4 will take first, but it's a tight race for second place.
Lane 1 will take second and lane 2 will take third. Next event, event 5 will be the 200-meter IM junior varsity.
And the first stroke we have is the butterfly, as lane 4 has an early lead.
Lane 4, Carrie Connolly will have the early lead. We have a tight race for the top in between lane 4 and lane 2. Lane 4 holds barely over a second lead over lane 2. Going into the breaststroke part.
Going into the freestyle, it looks like lane 4 will have a slight lead over lane 2.
Lane 4 looks to close it out right here. Connolly down the stretch looks like she's not going to be beat. In second place, lane 2, Mary Voljic. And it looks like in third place, it will be lane 6. Lane 6 is Libby Craig.
And Leo LT sweeps the top 3 yet again.
Our next event will be the 200-meter IM for the varsity.
There will be only 5 racers in this race as lane 5 is not being used.
There's only 5 teams in this race. Lane 5 is not in use right now. Maggie Ferguson looks to have the early lead in this race.
Going into the breaststroke, it looks like lane 4 will have a fraction of a second of a lead over lane 2.
Lane 4 will have the lead going into the freestyle, followed by lane 6 and lane 2.
It looks like nobody's gonna catch lane 4 as she will come in first.
And it looks like lane 6 will take second and lane 2 will take third. A complete sweep for the LT, sweeping the top 3 events once again. Event 7, the 50-meter freestyle for the junior varsity.
Leo, this will be the shortest distance of the night, so these will be very quick races, which means they will go all out for the entire race. It's a very tight race for first between lane 1 and lane 3. Looks like lane 1 has the slight edge.
Oh, this is close. The scoreboard is malfunctioning, so we actually do not know who won that race. From my angle, it looks like lane 1 won that race. What do you think, Ben?
It was very close, but I agree with you, Leo.
Event 7 will be the 50-meter freestyle. Event 8 will be the 50-meter freestyle for the varsity.
Lane 4 is a slight lead going into the last 25 meters.
My fault. This is actually Heat 2 of the junior varsity. And lane 4 will take this one, with lane 2 in second and lane 6 in third. Now we are in event 8, the 50-meter freestyle for the varsity.
Looks like lane 4 has a slight lead.
Lane 4 is Callahan Dunn, the freshman swimming in the varsity portion, and it looks like she's gonna take it, followed by lane 6 and lane 3 and third. That's amazing. The freshman winning in the varsity portion. Ben, what do you think about that?
Well, it shows that this LT team has a lot of versatility and they have a bright future ahead of them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start our senior recognition. Before we begin with our team, we would like to recognize two seniors from Glenbard West, Glenbard South Co-op. So we can have Claire Ficarella and Skylar Bundy. Please cross the ball and receive your power. In all seriousness, we know how much time, effort, and commitment it takes to be a swimmer or a diver. So we want to make sure that we recognize them as well. Congratulations, ladies. I will try to keep this as brief as possible while still making sure that I'm reading everything that I was told to read. This will be, as I look back at this group, I cannot believe that this group are seniors now. Many of these girls I had the privilege of being able to coach not only here for the last 4 years, but I had a chance to know them earlier when they were in 7th grade, 8th grade, 6th grade, and really this is probably one of the few groups where I can say I've really gotten a chance to know them, and I've seen them grow, change, mature, and be the wonderful young ladies that they are today. To say that you will be missed is an understatement. A lot of you mean a lot to us as coaches and mean so much to your teammates. I'm so happy to see you here at this point, to make it here through your senior year, and I cannot wait to see what comes in the future. Please know that you're always welcome here. Please come back and see kind of the environment and the traditions that you've helped to create over the years. You are an important part of our team, and you will always be an important part of our team, and you will be missed. Congratulations on making it this far. Our first senior is Aubrey Darling. She's being escorted by her parents Randall and Melissa. Her favorite events are the 100 back, 50 free, and the 50 back in the medley relay. She's considering going to the University of Kansas, Ball State University, or Western Michigan University. She may be majoring in communications, but is undecided at this point. In 10 years, she sees herself happily living in a mansion somewhere where all her submission divers can feel free to visit her. She'll have 10,000 fish and live in an aquarium room, so you lay on a cushioned floor and stare at the fish that swim around you. She will have expanded her sunglass collection so it can fit in one of her rooms of her mansion, but the room will be big because we're now 30 pairs will turn into 500 pairs. Allie and her will be frequently traveling the world because they will have lots of money. Her words of advice to her fellow swimmers: swimming is difficult, but it is totally worth it. Remember that you're in high school once, and the 4 years go by faster than you think. If you have one bad race, remember that there is always another chance. So shake it off and give it your all on the next one. Be nice to your teammates. They will have your back when you need them. Meet someone new, or get to know somebody on the team that you don't know very well, just a little bit more. Be there for others and love yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Aubrey Darling. Colleges she's considering are Illinois, University of Illinois, Dayton, Clemson, and University of Wisconsin. She intends on majoring in biology or pre-med. 10 years from now, again, she will see herself, everybody's rich in these things, but she will see herself as a maid of honor at Sydney's wedding to her Gibby. I don't know what a Gibby is, but apparently it's Prince Harry. And all the swimmers will be attending my own wedding to my own Gibby, who is to be determined. Her 8 dogs will be, and her will be living close by, and all the other seniors, so we can still share everything with each other. Every year I plan on sending Coach John's birthday cards that allow you to record your voice, so we can never forget my singing. It's pretty wonderful. I will also be setting up a lounge chair every year on Labor Day to enjoy not having to do the 10,000-yard set. Even 10 years later, my alarms will still read, at least you're not going into a freezing pool, as it does every Wednesday and every day out of swim season. Her words of advice: don't take anything too seriously. Anything that happens isn't the end of the world, and remember to have fun while you're here. You're not going to remember the times in 10 years. You're not going to remember your times in 10 years from now. You're going to remember the people and the good times that you had. Ladies and gentlemen, Fiona Jefferson. Next up is Maggie Ferguson. She's being escorted by her dad Jim and her grandma Pam. Her favorite events are the 100 flying and 200 IM. She's considering going to the University of Redlands, Rutgers University, University of Iowa, University of Missouri, and the University of Kansas. She intends on majoring in business. In 10 years from now, she sees herself posting up in LA after becoming famous for various and confidential reasons. Her words of advice. Every year, a senior will tell you that high school goes by faster than you think, and you never get how right they were until you're in the moments like these. Cherish the good times. Don't look back at the bad ones, and never, ever let anyone tell you how to live your life. Hashtag no regrets. Ladies and gentlemen, Maggie Ferguson. Up next is Victoria Glenbard. Being escorted by Martin Lee. Her favorite events are the 53 and 100 breast. Colleges that she's considering simply says too many. Her intended major, she intends on majoring in biology or physical therapy. 10 years from now, she sees herself having won the lottery and devoting her time to her 6 dogs. Her words of advice to her teammates: don't take these 4 years for granted. At the end of the day, you don't want to be saying, what if? And be savage. Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Glenbard. Up next is Sydney Hanson. Sydney's being escorted by Tim Allison. Her favorite events are the 200 medley relay, the 100 breast, and the 200 free relay. She's considering going to USC, Stanford, University of Wisconsin-Madison, University of Michigan, Columbia University, or Notre Dame. She intends on majoring in human biology or neuroscience. So she's not going to be some coach. 10 years from now, she'll be living on the Upper East Side with my French bulldog named Chester, and I'll be making babies at that. I will drive a matte black G-Wagon. And we'll either be married to Prince Harry or Christian McCaffrey. Every so often, I'll fly back to Chicago in my private jet to visit the swimmers and watch the Cubs play. Her words of advice: Steve Jobs said best, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ian. Up next is Marissa Pearl. She's being escorted by her parents, Bethany and Sarah. Her favorite events are the 100 fly, the 100 back, and the 200 IM. She's considering going to Pitt, University of Rochester, Oberlin College, Worcester College, Fordham University, Indiana University, University of Wisconsin, and Macalester College. So she has narrowed down her college selection. She intends on majoring in neuroscience, brain and cognitive sciences, or psychology. 10 years from now, she will fulfill her motto of get rich, marry rich. And I will be living in NYC with at least 2 cats and at least 1 hot husband.
There goes actually on camera.
To make me feel I will be having weekly gatherings with other swimmers so our pets can have play dates and we can reminisce over the weeks where we got to spend 20+ hours together. Her words of advice to her teammates: learn to focus on the team and on yourself. You need to focus on yourself to a sense that you can only control what you do in the pool. Focus on working as hard as you can and attempting to go your season or lifetime best. The clock should be your biggest competitor. As for the team, appreciate how amazing it is that you get to be part of such a hardworking and fantastic group of builders. Make every effort to support your teammates. Enjoy the time you have on this team. It goes by fast. Ladies and gentlemen, versus Roll. This is events of the 200 and 500 free. She's considering going to Walsh U in St. Louis, University of Illinois, and Carleton College. Her intended major is either business or Spanish. And 10 years from now, she'll be 27. So hopefully I'll have a good adult job by then. I hope to be less stressed than I am now, but realistically, that probably won't be. Hopefully I will have a really nice hot boyfriend and I'll be marrying soon. I'll also be super cool and won't expect me to shave my legs because they'll know that I was a swimmer. I hope to live somewhere warmer than Illinois so they can have lots of hammocks set up all the time. The swimmers will be welcome anytime, especially to watch Grey's Anatomy reruns and analyze them with Olivia, Larissa, and I also am really happy to have a golden retriever puppy whose name I haven't decided on yet. Most of the 10 years, they just want to be happy. Her words of advice to her teammates. Everyone says that the 4 years go by fast, and nobody ever takes that seriously. I did, especially here at senior night my freshman year. Now as a senior, I still feel like a freshman, and I can't believe the season is almost over. A lot of the time, the season sucks. And I try to enjoy it because before you know it, you will be a senior and wish it weren't ending. Work as hard as you can and have as much fun as you can. Have fun with your teammates because they really are your family and forever friends. Also, try to be nice to your coaches because they really are trying. Try to push yourself every practice, push yourself to get off the struggle bus, even though it's hard sometimes. Don't forget to stay savage. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucy Meehan. Up next is Paige Mitchell. Paige is being escorted by her parents, Dave and Kelly. Her favorite events were 53, 103, 203, and 503, and of course the relays. She's considering going to UMass and actually said she just committed, so does anybody? So I'm not going to read the other questions, but congratulations. She intends on majoring in pre-med and kinesiology. 10 years from now, I will hopefully live somewhere besides Illinois, with a bunch of dogs, and have a good job. And maybe get married soon. I will probably still have something swim related going on in my life because it's never escapable. I guarantee I will still see all the swimmers playing because it would be too hard not to. But in reality, who knows? Because I can still be catching up on sleep from the season. Her words of advice to her teammates. Have fun and take everything as it happens. The time goes by a lot faster than you would have expected. Even though you may still feel like a freshman, it's over sooner than you would know. The girls next to you will become an unforgettable part of your life, so make the best of it and learn to love each other like a family. As hard as it may be sometimes, sit back and relax because everything will be all right. Continue to work hard and push yourselves and the others around you because all the girls are here for a reason and know what it takes to be amazing. As much as we joke about how much Coach John says opportunity, he is pretty much right. Make sure you take advantage of it and make the best of it. There's nothing like being part of such a fantastic team, and you won't get to experience anything else like this ever. Ladies and gentlemen, Paige Mitchell. Up next is Monica is being escorted by her parents, Tom and Diane. Her favorite events are the 53, 100 free, 200 freestyle relay, and 400 freestyle relay, so she likes the sprint freestyle. She's considering going to Ohio State, Ohio State, St. Louis University, Marquette, Loyola University of Chicago, and Creighton. She intends on majoring in physical therapy and kinesiology. 10 years from now, she sees herself living in a nice house with my husband and many dogs, and hopefully in Sydney's wedding to Prince Harry. Her words of advice: don't take swim for granted, because this is where you will meet some of your best friends and have the best memories that you will never forget. Also, everything happens for a reason, and enjoy high school while it lasts. And take a deep breath every once in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda's being escorted by her parents, Lori and John. Her favorite events are the 200 and 500 free. She plans on attending either the University of North Carolina, the University of Alabama, or the University of Arizona. And she intends on majoring in speech pathology. Ironic that I stumbled over that word. Where she sees herself in 10 years, she sees herself living out of her Volkswagen van in Colorado, reading Sidney Hanson's High School Musical fan fiction and listening to Tori Kelly. Her words of advice to her fellow swimmers and divers: always keep things in perspective. Time flies, so enjoy the good times and move on from the bad. These are the people from high school who will have the most memories with, so make them good. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda O'Brien. Up next is Grace Siegelman. Grace is being escorted by her parents, Mary and David. Her favorite events are also the 200 and 500 free. She's considering going to Loyola, Butler, Drake, or DePaul University. And she intends on majoring in criminology and criminal law. 10 years from now, through her psychic abilities, Fiona can probably tell you. Sorry. Her words of advice are teammates: be nice to your parents, because they're doing a lot of work to watch you swim for 2 minutes at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Siegelman. Up next is Mae Swinehart. Mae is being escorted by her parents, Karen and James. Her favorite events are the 100 fly and the medley relay. She's considering going to Davidson College, University of San Diego, Michigan State University, or the University of Notre Dame. And she intends on majoring in biology. 10 years from now, she sees herself happy, riding my very own horse with my NFL husband, and most likely still arguing with Sydney that Notre Dame is better than Stanford. Go Irish, keep Cardinals this weekend. And of course, still hanging with my swim girls, hearing our 1/4 of a bagel with peanut butter, laughing about the good old days on the team. Her words of advice: you reap what you sow. If you don't plant the seeds every day at practice, you won't have any harvest to collect at the end. Therefore, always work hard, and the results will follow. Ladies and gentlemen, Mae Swinehart. And last but not least, is Ally's being escorted by her parents, Doug and Mary. Her favorite events are the 200 free and the 500 free. She's considering going to the University of Tampa, University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, DePaul University, or the University of Alabama. And she intends on majoring in biomedical sciences or pre-med. 10 years from now, she sees herself finishing up my 2 years of residency, and on my way to becoming a successful psychiatrist. I will also be living in an apartment in San Francisco with my 4 dogs, which are all golden retrievers, and maybe married. Her words of advice: don't be afraid to do something, because you are probably going to regret not doing it more than you would actually doing it. Don't be afraid to go up to people, introduce yourself, and say hi. You never know who you will meet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellie Thompson. One more time, if we could have one more round of applause for all the seniors from both teams. Congratulations on a great season and a great high school career.
And we're back with Ben Turk. Ben, what an amazing senior ceremony we had. Our first event will be the 100 fly time finals.
Looks like lane 3 has a slight lead. Oh wait, no, lane 5 is just taking the lead.
It's a very close race.
And as you can see, Leo, lane 1 is not being used in this race. Lane 5 currently has the lead going into the last 25 meters.
It looks like lane 5 was going to take this one commandingly. In second place, it looks like we're going to have lane 3, and we have a battle for third place. And it looks like it's going to be won by lane 2 by about 3/10 of a second. Next event will be the 100-meter butterfly for the varsity.
Lane 5 is not being used in this race.
After the first 50, lane 4 will be in the lead, followed by lane 2 and lane 6. Coming down the stretch, it looks like lane 4 will take this one. Lane 2 will take second. And lane 6 will take third.
Leo, LT sweeps this race yet again. What do you think they're doing to keep this
Well, you know,
pace
it
up?
is senior night, so I feel like everyone's playing with a little bit more of a, let's win on senior night mentality.
Totally agree.
Event 12 will be the 100 butterfly for the varsity. We have a tight race. Lane 2 edges out lane 4 by about 3/100ths of a second. It is a tight race coming down the stretch. And it looks like lane 4 will take this one, followed by lane 2. But that race was decided by less than 1/100th of a second.
No, Leo, it looks
Actually,
like they
wait.
have tied.
We have a tie for first place in between lane 4, which is lane 4 and lane 2.
Both finished with 1 minute and 17/100ths of a second.
Lane 4 is Grace Prendergast and lane 2 is Maeve Swinehart. This event is the 100-meter freestyle for the junior varsity.
Looks like lane 3 has a slight lead over lane 6 going into the first, at the end of the first 50.
Coming down the stretch, it looks like lane 3 will take this one. Actually, you know what? Lane 6 is edging. And lane 6 is actually going to take this one, followed by lane 3. And lane 5 will come in third.
And Leo, that race was all LT along.
This is heat 2. Lane 4, it looks like it's going to have the early lead, followed by lane 2 and lane 6. Coming down the stretch, it's another tight race. Lane 4 will take first, lane 2 will take second, and lane 6 will take third. Event number 14 will be the girls 100-meter freestyle for the varsity. Looks like coming to the wall after this first 50 meters. Lane 4 will have a tight lead, followed by lane 6 and lane 2. We are coming down the stretch here in a tight race in between 3 LT racers. Lane 4 will take first, lane 6 will take second, and lane 2 will take third. Now, Ben, the next event is the 500-meter freestyle, the longest event. Now the next event will be the longest race of the night, the 500-meter relay. No, it's actually not a relay, I'm sorry. After the first 15 meters, lane 4 will have the lead. Lane 1 looks like it has the early lead. Lane 1 still has the early lead. Lane 1 still has the lead as we hit the halfway point of this race.
And Leo, this is the longest race of the night. What do you think the swimmer's mentality is going into this race since it's so long?
Well, you obviously have to start strong, but you don't want to use all your energy on these first, 200 meters. Because then for the last 300, you will have no energy left. I feel like lane 1 is doing a very good job. You could see out of the gate, she was going very hard, but she was not going all out, so she could save some energy for this late push.
Yes, but it looks like lane 4 is making some ground.
And lane 4 did have the strategy. She did come out a little slower, but I feel like she does have a lot of energy left. I feel like she can make a push to win this race.
As we are 3/4 of the way through this race, it looks like lane 1 has the lead, but lane 4 is close behind.
Lane 1 is Amanda O'Brien from LT, and lane 4 is Maddie Dixon, also from LT. 50 meters. Here we go.
And it looks like lane 4
is
has
touched in with a less than a little bit half of a second lead. It's going to come down to the last 25 meters, Ben. And lane 4 will take this one, followed by lane 1. Lane 4. Lane 4 is Maddie Dixon from LT, and lane 1 is Amanda O'Brien from LT. And in third place would be lane 6, Greta Markey from LT. Ben, that was an amazing race. It was a 500-meter race, and that race came down to the last 5 meters. Do you feel like, I can't wait for the varsity portion of this to see how fast varsity is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, the LT record is 4 minutes 58 seconds, so it should be interesting to see how fast these varsity girls can go.
Ben, in between the swimming portions, they honored all the seniors. How did you feel that ceremony went?
Well, I think it was very interesting. They all announced their schools, but when they picture themselves in 10 years, they all mentioned this LT swim team, so they must be a very tight-knit group.
Next event will be event number 16, girls 500-meter varsity. Lane 1 will not be in use for this race. Lane 4 will lead after the first 50 meters. Lane 4, Lucy Meehan looks to have the early lead in this race, followed by Lane 2, Julia Hall, and Lane 6, Megan Mitchell.
And Leo, I believe lane 6, Megan Mitchell, is a freshman, another freshman on this varsity team.
This is a very young LT swimming team. So frankly, even though they have a very good team this year, next year might be their year to make a run for state.
I agree.
Meehan still looks to have the lead. And it looks like the leader is about to get to the halfway point of this race. Meehan still has the lead. Last 50 meters for Meehan. She has a very steady lead. Down the stretch, it looks like no one is going to catch Lucy Meehan from LT. Meehan will take it. Lane 2. Casey Stuba from LT will take second. And lane 3, Julia Hall for Glenbard will take third. Our next event will be the 200-meter freestyle relay. And they're off.
Leo, it looks like LT has 5 of the 6 teams in this relay.
Yep. But that Glenbard team will actually come into this come in second after this first turn. Second exchange. And for the anchor leg, lane 4 will have Grace Lucum swim for them. Lane 5 will touch in second, and lane 2 will touch in third.
It looks like coming on the stretch, lane
And Grace
4.
Lucum will finish out to get LT a win. Lane 5 will come in second, and lane 2 will come in third. Now it will be the 200 free varsity. Lane 4 will touch in first. Lane 3 will touch in second. And we have a tight race for third.
Yeah, Leo, lane 2, lane 3, and lane 4 are in a very tight race for first place right now.
Second exchange. Lane 4's anchor is Casey Stuba. And with 50 meters left, it looks like no one is going to catch Stuba. As in first, it will be the LT team in lane 4. We have a tight race for second. It is won by lane 3, and lane 2 will take third.
Leo, LT has had tremendous success in this meet. What do you think they've been doing to keep this success up?
Well, they've just been swimming really good today. Next event will be the 100-meter backstroke junior varsity. Lane 5 has the early lead, followed by lane 4 and lane 2. With 25 meters to go, Olivia Burley in lane 5 has the lead.
And there, it looks like this is an all LT race.
You are right, Ben. Lane 5, Burley will take first. Lane 4, Williams will take second. And lane 2, Tomsick will take third. Now it's time for Heat 2.
What am I doing? Watch me for a second.
Lane 4, Young Jae Cho will have the early lead. Lane 4, Sydney Hansen coming down the stretch. In first place.
You want me to do camo?
Lane 2 will come in second and lane 6 will come in third. Next will be the 100-meter backstroke. After the first 50 meters, lane 4, Callahan Dunn has the early lead. Callahan Dunn will get first. Lane 3. Lane 3 will take second, and lane 2 will take third.
No, I've done this 3 times. This is my 3rd time doing it. Oh, yeah? Yeah. This is my 1st time. Literally,
Next event will be the 100-meter breaststroke for the junior varsity.
this is all I do, pretty much.
Cho will have the early lead after the first 50. Coming down the stretch, it looks like Yeonji Cho of LT is going to take this one in first place. Followed by lane 2, Lizzie McNeela. And in lane 6, Hannah Good of LT. I'm sorry, Victoria Guevara of LT. Ben, again, that was an all LT race.
Yes, I think it's because the Glenbard team has a shortage of swimmers.
It is now time for the second heat. This one is not an all LT meet.
And Leo, lane 3 is not being used in this race.
I think that's for what you said. This Glenbard team does not have a lot of swimmers. After the first 15 meters, lane 4, Sydney Hansen of LT has the early lead. Coming down the stretch, it's a close race in between Jane Melinda and Sydney Hansen, both from LT. And it looks like Melinda's gonna take this one, followed by Hansen. And in lane 6, Hannah Good will get third. Now it is time for the 100-meter breaststroke. Lane 2, Nina Weimer will have the lead, followed by Julia Kroll, both from LT. Coming down the stretch, Julia Kroll from lane 4 is going to edge out Nina Weimer in lane 2. pulls it from LT, and in lane 6, Grace Credit of LT will take third. Then, again, LT will sweep the top 3. What do you think about that?
Well, LT has really dominated this meet, I think. They've swept the top 3 several races, and I think it's a result of them going to practice every day and then working very hard. So,
Second last event of the night. The second to last event of the night is event 23, the 400-meter relay for the junior varsity. After the first 50 meters, lane 4 will have the lead, followed by lane 1 and lane 2.
and Leo, again, a majority of these teams are from LT, as 4 are LT teams and 2 are Glenbard teams.
First exchange, lane 4 has the lead. We're coming into our second exchange, and it looks like lane 4 will have the lead.
I believe the refs have called an early jump on lane 4, which may result in a disqualification.
That's big. Lane 4 is a huge lead in this. Coming into the last exchange, lane 4 has the lead. Lane 4's anchor racer is Mary Bullich. Coming down the stretch, it looks like lane 4 will take this one. Actually, no. Lane 1 will take this one in first. Lane 4 will take this one in second. And lane 2 will take this one in third.
Yes, Leo, but I think the next team to finish will get third because of lane 4's disqualification.
On the board, they do have lane 4 in second.
We'll see what the refs decide.
This is the last event of the night, the 400-meter relay for the varsity team. If I was LT's coach, I would put all the seniors I can in this race. This will be their last competitive race in this pool.
And Leo, it looks like Glenbard is not using lane 1.
You know, as we said multiple times, this Glenbard team is very short on swimmers, so I feel like they might not have had enough to fill 4 people to swim in lane 1. Coming into the first exchange, it looks like lane 4 will have the lead.
Looks like lane 4 is just enlarging their lead by the second.
Coming into this exchange, lane 4 is in first. And lane 4 will win this one. followed by lane 3 and lane 2. And that is the conclusion of the last race of the night. For Ben Turf and our crew, I'm Leo Bruni. Thanks for watching LTTV. Have a good night.